Hi, are you at a crossroad in your marriage where you don't know whether you should stay or whether you should go? Or maybe you don't even have a choice. You've been told it's going to end. I've worked with many people in the past, and this is a common situation in marriages. We love each other so much and so deeply, and we're so close to each other that we're too close to even see ourselves in it. Which one's you? Which one's me? And what's ours? And what can we do about this stuff that's ours? And so you try, and it ends up in that same old fight or flight response. And then what happens many times is you find something fun to do. You get distracted. Something great happens in your family or with your kids, or something great happens in your career. And you forget about that pain that you're carrying from the past, and that pain that you even have about yourself. And you reconnect. Things are great and you have a great time. And then out of the blue, it comes back. That thing where the spouse lashes out at you, or they just simply start dropping the ball and not holding themselves accountable to the things that they promised you that they do in a certain time. Then you start to worry, and the micromanaging starts, and the picking at each other. Sometimes it's where a spouse just begins to complain and complain and complain and never does anything to solve it, and it's too much to bear. All these things can be so hard in a relationship, especially when you're close, when you live close to each other, and when you do truly deeply care about each other down below all these challenges. I'm Patty Jackson, and I'm the owner of Clear Inner Focus. I've been married for 30 years, and I understand these challenges. I've been through them myself. My husband and I got to a crossroad about 8 years ago, and we use the tools that I teach my clients all the time on how to rebuild your marriage. What works is to first take a good look at yourself, to understand what your part is in it, to understand your patterns of fight, flight, or sticking with your emotions and creating new solutions. At first, turning to yourself and looking at yourself first can seem daunting because you think, I know, I've tried that, and then I'm all okay within myself, and here it happens again over there. When you look at all of the patterns that are going on with you and then how you respond to the other person, suddenly you'll be able to see things in a new way. When we look at the recurring challenges of the past, the first time that something like that happens, what we get to look at is, where did I choose to fight my spouse or shut down instead of first asking myself, what do I want here? And what am I hearing that my spouse wants here? And how can we together create a win-win solution? Doing that way back when is something that would have resolved many of your recurring challenges in lifetime. But we're younger then. Our lives are busy then. We're building careers at that point. We have young kids at home at that point. There's so many pressures in the world, and we think that love should just be easy. And it's not always easy, but it's worth it. So when you look at your own patterns, and when you look at those things from the past that keep coming back and haunting you, and you get to see them in a new light, like, wow, I didn't know back then what I knew today. And what I know today is this. Had I known it back then, I would have handled it this way. And I didn't know that back then. And I can forgive myself. When you can get to that point, it makes it a lot easier to forgive your spouse for the pains that they caused in the past, for the times when they didn't stop and listen to you and find a winning solution that works with you. So that's how I help people first begin, is to give them some time to stop and listen to themselves. What do you really want? And how might you be able to move forward to experience that? Because most of the time we're listening to ourselves and we have a complaint going on inside our own heads. And when that complaint's going on inside my own head, it's easy to come back out in a struggle. But when I get that clear inner focus, when I have that clear picture of what I want, and I can see how it can be a win-win solution for me and my spouse, and then I talk from there, things get infinitely better. When I have the clear solution and then I communicate to gain understanding, not to fix the problem or to prove who was right and who was wrong. Things get infinitely better. Then when I start to begin to build trust, when I start to see that I have a powerful part in my life and I have tools and strategies to communicate with my spouse, and I realize that they truly want to learn and grow through the challenges too, the mistakes get easier because there will be mistakes, but you can resolve them quickly and in live time. You can resolve them quickly and create a win-win solution that maybe one or both of you had no idea about until the problem showed up. So if you're contemplating a divorce, I'd like you to just take a deep breath for a minute and take a minute to listen to you. What if you really could move some of these inner landmines that go off when you're together? What if you could diffuse them and get to a place where you are living together, supporting each other, having fun together with the family that you have had together for so many years, and maybe creating new experiences where it's okay to let go of the old ones because you look forward to and you trust and you can rely on your spouse. If you could have that, do you want it? And if you do or don't want it, the things that you can learn from Clear Inner Focus Coaching or the Personal Leadership Masters class will help you to have the peace of mind to build a new relationship with your spouse, whether that's one in the same house or one in different houses. Your peace of mind matters. Your emotional health matters. In fact, I'd like to say that maybe nothing matters more than that. Because when you have that, you can powerfully move forward. You can make good decisions, and you can move your life forward in the direction that you want to move it forward in time. But it comes from peace of mind and mental health. These are the things that you learn in the Personal Leadership Masters class or through one-on-one coaching with me. If you'd like to learn more about this, if you'd like to share the details of your situation and see if this is something that can help you, I would like you to schedule an appointment with me. I give free telephone consultations. I set aside 30 minutes. I hear about your challenge, your desire, and then give you a plan. I let you know the steps that I could take along with you if we're a good fit for each other, and how I help people to take care of the things inside them and then rebuild the relationship with their spouse. So instead of staying up late at night worrying that maybe you're hurting your kids or you're hurting the neighbor's ears or you're hurting your own self through the stress that your marriage is causing you, take this step, do something new. Ask for help. This is normal human stuff. No, it's not just you that's going through this. And yes, from an outside perspective and from a bigger perspective, there are tools and strategies that you can use to rebuild this relationship and lead it in the direction that you would love to see it go. So please schedule an appointment with me, 30 minutes, and I'd be happy to find out more about you and how I might be able to help you rebuild your marriage. It really matters to me. I think that our kids need to have peace in the home. They need to see people who have strategies to navigate their emotions and to move themselves forward. Our kids today are suffering from parents who are living their lives, and we need to live our own lives and have really good, healthy boundaries and be able to respond to our kids from our power and give them the space and the accountability that they need to lead themselves. And it starts by leading yourself and myself. And then how do we do this as a team? Many times, the strategies that I teach are just the beginning of setting up a whole new family dynamic. One family dynamic I know I call people soup. And that's where one person comes home and is crabby and starts doing that thing they do. And then everyone goes down with the ship. The next person goes down, then the next person goes down, and then everyone has burst each other's bubbles and is feeling lousy. And we know what that does. It makes it hard to stick with your homework. It makes it hard to stick with your tasks at hand. And it makes it hard to enjoy the quiet time off or each other. And that builds. So then when we're distracted and somewhere else and we think back on either that kid or that spouse that sets the whole ship going down, we start adding the stress. So then when we start to see it again, we're reactive instead of responding from our power. Again, this is normal human stuff. It happens in families where people care, but they just haven't taken the time to take a few deep breaths and care and listen to themselves and get a picture of where you would like to go before responding to someone else. To get a picture of what you want to lead instead of what you want to fix. I can help you with that. So schedule a call. I'd love to talk with you. Find out how I can help you at least get relief through the free call. See if you're a good fit for working with each other and getting through this to the other side.